And we'll get started today in child's pose. Toes together, knees wide. We'll focus a lot more on balancing our Pitta energy. A lot of the times when someone that really operates more as a Pitta, which really a lot of us do in society just because of how society is structured, we are going all the time, we are doing. So to find balance in this space, we have to move more into that kapha energy to slow things down, take our time, find more grounding, rather than doing a power yoga class where we are continually moving our bodies and moving fast. So finding this balance here on our mat, even in child's pose, to find more of a restorative sequence today. Walk your hands towards the left side of the mat. Drop that right cheek down. It's allowing you to stretch more into your side body. Pass through the center towards the opposite side. We'll make our way back towards the center of the mat, towards child's pose, continuing to extend the arms long and maybe just moving your forehead side to side, just to massage the third eye. On your next breath, let's make our way up towards a tabletop position. Just gently moving into some circles to start to generate some more fluidity into your body. Just taking note of how your body feels today, how it's showing up on the mat. Maybe you want to take some cat-cows while you're here. Take one more round of breath. And we'll meet back towards a comfortable seat. So just allowing yourself to sit back onto your heels. We'll move into a couple arm stretches into the upper body. Inhale, reach up. Interlace the hands at the top. Press the palms away and lean towards one side. Gaze can stay neutral or maybe gaze up or down. Come back towards the center. Exhale, other side. We'll meet back towards the center and drop your hands down. Interlace the hands behind the back. Open up the chest. Maybe you drop your chin down towards your chest just to help open up your cervical spine. And slowly release your hands, re-interlace them in towards the front, then press your palms away and drop your chin down towards your chest. We'll meet all the way back up, reach the arms back high. Now, your next breath, exhale, release the right hand down and lean over left bicep by your ear. So continuing to move into the intercostal muscles, stretching into your side body. Gaze, again, can be up or down, depending upon what feels best on your neck. Switch sides, left arm down, right arm up. Drop both hands back down towards the ground. Inhale, pull that chest forward, gaze up towards the ceiling. So it almost feels like a cow pose in a seated posture. Then crawl the hands back forward to find your tabletop position. Send the right leg long and back. Then just bend your knee, give yourself a couple big hip circles. So release your hip. Maybe reverse your circles opposite direction. And take that right leg and step it all the way forward towards a lunge. Maybe you have a block close by that you want to place your hands down for support. But instead of leaning forward, stack the hips so hips feel in line with each other and spine is tall. Inhale, reach up, arms high. You can continue to stay in this lunge, or maybe you want to add on a twist to take the left hand towards the outer edge of your knee and reach that right arm back. Really taking our time in each of these poses, allowing some more fluidity and grounding. Reach both arms back high. And then dip those hips forward. So rather than squaring off, shift the hips so you feel it more into your hip flexor. On your exhale, drop both hands down. We're coming towards a half split, just to help stretch into our hamstrings. Keep pulling the toes back towards you. Chest can stay uplifted. Maybe you want to use a block by either side of the leg to continue to hold the pose. I'll be here for a couple breaths as I plug in my phone. Thought I was going to have a special guest appearance from my husband, but he stood off to the side for a bit. So you might get a little dizzy when I plug in the phone. Phone might move around a bit. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas again. Awesome. From our half split, shift back forward. Inhale, reach your arms up. And step back. Option to move towards downward facing dog if that feels okay on your body. Or maybe tabletop position again before we come towards the other leg. Take one more full breath here. We'll all meet towards a tabletop position. Send the left leg long and back now. Bend your knee, give yourself a couple big circles into the hip joint. Reverse your circles opposite direction. And step it forward on your next breath towards a lunge. So same thing on the other side. Keep grounding into your legs. Stack the hips so that core starts to activate just for support. And inhale, reach your arms up. So even though there's a slight difference here, we're not really hinging towards the hips. Maybe you stay here or add on the twist, right arm towards the outer edge of the left knee. You can use it as leverage to reach that left arm back. Reach both arms back forward. Then start to hinge a little bit from the hips, dip the hips to get into that right hip flexor. And on your exhale, drop the hands, send that left leg long, just allowing your left leg to straighten out. We'll be here for the same amount of time that we were in half split on the other side. Last full breath here. Shift back forward, lift your arms back up, either tabletop position or downward facing dog as your options. Let's take one full breath here. We'll move into a back bend. If you have your knees already down, stay there. Otherwise, drop the knees down. We'll find our way up towards camel pose. Hands towards the hips, press the hips forward, heart high. Continuing to take nice, gentle, big breaths. Last breath to inhale. And exhale, release back down towards your tabletop. We'll continue to move into the upper body by lifting that right arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, thread that right arm underneath the left. So allowing that right cheek to drop, using the left hand for balance and grounding. Really work on slowing the breath down, especially in this more restorative class today. We'll be here for about 2 to 3 more breaths. Take one more full breath here. Slowly come out, lift that right arm all the way back up towards the ceiling. And exhale, drop your hand down. Let's find our way into cat-cow a couple times just to move more continually into the spine. Once you've moved into your cat-cow, just for a couple breaths, switch out the arms, left arm up, and exhale, left arm underneath. Just continue to drop that left shoulder down into the mat, left cheek down. Really working on grounding into the mat, taking note of the earth supporting you. Start to unwind, lift that left arm back up towards the ceiling, and exhale, drop both hands down. Crisscross at the legs, and send both legs forward. Shake them out a bit. Then bend your knees. Give yourself a big hug. Draw your chin towards your chest. Take one more full breath. And exhale, begin to release the legs, open up the knees to find butterfly pose. If you have maybe a pillow close by, you can place the pillow on top of your lap. I'm just using that as support. I'm going to grab my bolster to demonstrate. In this more restorative version of the pose, you can use a pillow to just place for support and then round down. Maybe you want to use a block underneath the forehead instead. This will be one of our longer holds today. We'll hold for about 10 total breaths. It's continuing to draw awareness into breath and body. letting this feel more gentle, more restorative, rather than forcing a pose, rather than making this a have to. About halfway through this posture, then on your next breath, start to lift up, maybe place the prop off towards the side. Straighten out both legs again. Give that right knee a hug in towards your chest. Again, either stay here, maybe hug with the left arm around your right leg and then twist, or move the left elbow towards the outer edge of your knee and then twist from there. Wherever you were in your twist, come back forward. Keep that right knee bent and send it off towards the side for a grounded tree pose. Maybe a strap around the ball of your foot to pull forward, or just allow your forehead to start to drop down into your fold. Again, block can be there to help assist you just to release the head on top of a block or even a pillow. Especially if we find that our more pitta nature is out of balance, meaning quick to anger, moving towards competition. Moving into something that's slower paced and more grounding feels a lot more soothing rather than moving fast and going in a physical practice. Take one more full breath here. Then begin to sit up into your spine. We'll send both legs back long and switch out the legs. Draw your left knee in toward your chest. Either keep squeezing, maybe grab the right arm around and then twist, or take the right elbow towards the outer edge. Got lots of props around me today. Sometimes yoga class feels like I'm building a block fort or like a blanket fort because I have so many different props. Come back towards the center. Keep that left knee bent and then just send it out towards the side. Either staying uplifted, upright into your body, or starting to hinge from the hips to fold over. Then block can be there to assist you to place the block underneath your forehead. Take about 3 to 5 more breaths in this pose. Continuing to relax into it rather than trying to achieve the perfect pose. There's really no such thing, but typically Pitta believes that there is. Slowly lift back up. And we'll come into a fish pose. So send the legs long, If you do have a pillow, definitely grab the pillow, maybe grab the block or the book. So a couple options for your fish. You can take the block underneath your back body, just allow your heart to open here. Again, pillow can be used, or bolster can be used to go along the back body. Option 3 is a bit more physical in nature, where you slide the hands palm face up underneath the glutes, press the forearms into the mat, and lift your chest. Wherever you're at, we'll be here for about 5 to 7 breaths. Might feel nice to really open up the arms into a T shape if you have a prop underneath your back. Take your last 2 breaths in this pose before we come down onto our back body. And whatever you had underneath your back to assist the position, remove it, place it off towards the side. Come all the way down onto the back and give your knees a hug in toward your chest. Rock a bit side to side just to massage the lower back out. We'll set up for our twist. Draw your knees towards the left, shoulders down into the mat below. We'll be here for about 3 to 5 breaths each side. Take your time to switch towards the opposite direction. Allow your knees to fall towards whatever side that you didn't take. Draw your knees back towards the center of your mat. We'll take a gentle inversion. Take your legs up and then arms up as well. It's called sleeping tiger pose, where you're just allowing your wrists to be limp, fingers loose, a little bit of give into the knees so you're not completely straight in your legs. Take your last breath in this posture. And give yourself another big hug, knees toward your chest. Big tight squeeze around your nose to meet your knees. And move towards your Shavasana. Maybe that's reclined butterfly pose, feet together, knees wide, or legs all the way out. We'll just be here for about a minute. Of course, you can have a longer Shavasana if that feels something like you need.